So we've wanted to make this video for quite a while now, but it's always been a little bit daunting because you can't really talk about this category of food without making a bunch of examples. We finally decided, you know what? Let's just have a big old bread party and share with you guys some ideas for how to make amazing Italian bruschetta.
Oh, Harper, still bruschetta. It's not pronounced bruschetta, it's pronounced bruschetta.
Are you sure?
Harper, which language do I speak? To make the bruschetta, we need to start from the bread. You don't need a fresh bread, which means that it's better if you have a loaf of it, a loaf made the day before. But it should be a very good bread that you can easily cut slices. Wonder bread doesn't really work. Just to make you understand which kind of bread you need.
Now, I can't help but noticing that you have an entirely different kind of bread here, though.
Yes, Harper, because in Italy we have a kind of bruschetta that we don't call bruschetta, we call it Crostino. Now, the difference between bruschetta and Crostino is that bruschetta uses a very good Italian bread. Crostino is acceptable, the French bread.
I notice you're not cutting them super thick.
No, Harper, because they need to be a little bit crunchy and they should be easy to eat. If they are too thick, it's like, how can you eat them? Now, because I wouldn't define this as real bread, what I'm going to do is cut it in, how do you say?
Diagonals?
Yes. In Calabria we say di swincio. Now, there are 1,000 ways in which you can toast your bread. You can use the oven, you can use the fire, you can use the toaster, you can use a pan, you can use whatever you want. Important is that your bread is toasted. When I have to cook this amount, I really like to use a flat pan like that, because it makes things easier and faster. This is our first bruschetta, and for our first bruschetta we decided to do the easiest one, but because it is very easy, it requires maybe the best ingredient, because they use just 2 ingredients, which means a good olive oil and a good oregano. When I say a very good oregano, what I mean actually is Calabrian oregano, wild Calabrian oregano. And I keep this very good oregano in one of the best jars in the world, which means a Nutella jar. The next one is a little bit more difficult, but just a little bit, because in this case we are going to use tomatoes and basil. I'm going to make our first crostino. That is also one of my mother's favorite combination. Sweet gorgonzola cheese and jam. Gorgonzola cheese is what in America is known like blue cheese. So it's a cheese that has some mold inside. Here in Italy we have 2 kinds, the spicy one that is harder and the sweet one that is much more creamy.
I always find it a little bit funny because the sweet one is not in any way sweet And the spicy one, is it not in any way spicy?
See, spice because it's like
It's stronger. Yeah, it's stronger.
Strong. This is a little bit more delicate. For how much delicate can be a gorgonzola?
You forgot to mention that this isn't just one of Mama Rosa's favorite combinations. It's also one of mine.
But Harper, you have so many favorite combinations that sometimes I forget. You can use fruit jam or the jam that you prefer. What I'm going to use is a very special jam because this is green tomato jam made by my Zia Maria, that in my opinion is the best jam in all the world. Now, tomatoes are good because they are tomatoes. But how good is tomatoes in this shape, you can't understand if you don't try it. This crostino uses one of my favorite pizza toppings, stracchino, rucola and smoked salmon. Sometimes I switch from smoked salmon to smoked swordfish. It depends where I'm in the world.
I.e., here you used smoked swordfish, and in America you use smoked salmon.
See, this is the order. For the next bruschetta, I'm going to use some tuna fish with some beans.
Tuna fish and beans.
See, Harper, you can't imagine how good is this combination. It's something like, let's call it Calabrian tuna salad.
So these are just cannellini beans?
These are just cannellini beans, but it's very important to use not just very good cannellini beans, but a very good tuna fish. Which means that chicken of the sea, star chicken of the sea, I don't know the name, it doesn't work. This is for science. A Calabrian tuna salad can't exist without some good tropea onion.
Can you explain what tropea onions are for people who haven't been within the, I don't know, few kilometer area of the world where you can get them?
So the tropea onion is an onion, but it's an onion that actually you can eat as an apple because it's very, very sweet. So if you are not so lucky to have some tropea onion around you, feel free to use which onion you like. It will be as good? No, but it's sugar. Now we are going to do a bruschetta with this, and that's okay. But believe me, this is one of the best lunch, dinner, summer, winter, spring, fall that you can have in Europe. Two of my favorite bruschettas, they are made with
Bruschettas?
I said bruschettas.
You said bruschettas. Ava?
Ava? I know. So, two of my favorite bruschette are made with roasted vegetables. Vegetables.
Oh my gosh, English, Italian, it doesn't matter.
Anyway, I'm going to roast peppers and eggplants in the oven until they are soft and ready to be eaten. After that, we let our eggplants cool down a little bit. We are going to peel it. This makes everything better.
I'm surprised it's taken this long for you to whip out the spicy pepper. I kind of just want to eat that.
I had the same thought, Harper.
Well, whatever. Bread makes everything better, right?
Absolutely. After we peeled and
torn?
Make
Wait, I'm trying to...
stripes from out of our peppers. What we are going to do is chop some garlic, capers, and black olives. We already used the tropea onion in the bruschetta before, but we used them completely raw. This time we are going to make a bruschetta with just tropea onion, but we are going to cook them.
It's really a shame that those only grow on the tiny little strip of beach here.
It's like yes and not, Harper, because this is a reason why people they should come here to try also them. Now I'm going to put a little bit of sugar and a little bit of vinegar. So our onion will be agrodolce. How do you say in English?
Sweet and sour.
Sweet and sour.
I see some pesto, and I like where this is going.
Harper, you know what is a good pair with pesto?
Trophie.
Sì, Harper, but we are making a bruschetta. we can put pasta on bruschetta, but in this case, we are going to use potatoes. The best way in which you need to cook the potatoes to go well with pesto is boiling the potatoes. You understand that the potato is ready when you can easily stick a fork inside and the potato is soft. Once the potato is cool, that you can touch it without burning your hands, you should peel it. smell of the pesto is something that is unique in the world. At this point, you have several choices, because you can use Parmigiano cheese, you can use pecorino cheese. I'm going to use smoked dried ricotta, because this is what I have here. No, actually I have also the pecorino and the Parmigiano, but I use this because I like this. The next crostino that I'm going to make use mozzarella cheese and prosciutto cotto. And because I want the mozzarella melted a little bit, I didn't toast my bread because I'm going to bake the whole crostino. This is not the only crostino that I'm going to bake, so for now I set it here. And I'm going to prepare all the rest. Because I have this wonderful mozzarella, I'm going to make another bruschetta that in this case will use mozzarella and anchovies. And actually, this is also my favorite one. There is no doubt that one of the best Italian dishes is Parmigiana di melanzane. Everyone loves Parmigiana di melanzane. So, right now we are going to do the bruschetta version of a delicious Parmigiana di melanzane. To make our bruschetta alla Parmigiana, we need to start with the tomato sauce. And this is my simple tomato sauce, which means a clove of garlic, some good whole peeled tomatoes, or if you have fresh good tomatoes, use the fresh good tomatoes, and some olive oil.
And salt.
And basil. Like every real Parmigiana in the world, if you want to make a Parmigiana, you need to fry the eggplants. Can I cook this in a pan? Can I roast them? The answer is no. Do you want a Parmigiana? You fry the eggplants, otherwise you eat another thing. When the eggplants will be golden but not burned, they are ready to be taken out. Now that I have my tomato sauce, my fried eggplants, what I need is just some cheese. I was thinking to throw this oil away, but then I realized that actually I can make another bruschetta, but this time I'm going to fry some zucchini. Going to add some good strong vinegar. Don't be fooled by the bottle, because this is a homemade vinegar that my parents makes. And now we let our zucchini marinated for about 10 minutes until it's time to make the bruschetta. We have the last one bruschetta to bake. And for the last one, I choose to make the most amazing flavor of the world, which is pizza.
Time to bake these?
Yes.
Well, that is a pretty incredible bruschetta spread.
I know, this is a bruschetta spread that you can find in the best Italian restaurant.
Well, you know, I've always said that the best Italian food isn't exactly found in Italian restaurants.
So this means that you want your favorite one, Harper?
Yeah, I kind of think that there's one bruschetta missing. And for sure, you won't find it in a restaurant.
Okay, I understand. Let's go and do it.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. You gotta explain what this is.
This is the famous Salimuri. Famous for all the people that knows us. So it's like the leftover of the big pot of boiling pork meat for 3-4 hours. Then you collect the leftover, the fat and the small pieces of skin meat. And then what you do, you make a bruschetta. If
I'm not mistaken, this is some of the same Salimuri we made in our Propuna video, isn't it?
No, these are that Salimuri. Now, we are going to do the bruschetta, but actually with this you can do a bunch of other delicious things like fry the eggs, make the pizza, make the pita, eat just with a spoon.
Okay, all the other bruschetta you made were like incredible, but this is the most excited I've been all day.
You were waiting for this, Harper?
I'm not gonna lie, yes.
Buon appetito!
That is the best bruschetta.
You know that you are real Calabrian when in a very hot day you are capable to eat fat and pork meat.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you got some new ideas for some amazing bruschetta you can make. Before we go, a quick shout out to a pasta grammarian in action who made a timbalo. A whole big old timpano. Made a whole video about it. You can watch it up here.
Bravi!
Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Follow us on social media at Pasta Grammar and definitely tag us there if you try any of these bruschette. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
Ciao.